Hi, I'm Sid. Meet our teacher, Rita.
Hi, welcome to our Max English class. A quick reminder before we get started. Make sure you have your Max English journal open in front of you to today's lesson. Let's set a clear aim for today's class. You look thoughtful, Sid.
I had a strange dream last night. There was a monster who had taken away all colours from the world. Everything was colourless. My clothes, toys, books, the pictures on my wall, everything.
That sounds awful. What happened then?
I woke up. Can't tell you how happy I was to see that all the colours were still there.
Well, let's read a poem that you might find similar to your dream. In today's class, we will read the poem The Sound Collector by Roger McGough. We will find out what the poem is telling us about the sounds in our everyday life. Let's write what we will do in class today in the aim section of our journals.
I have written what we are going to learn today.
It's action time. Close your eyes. Listen carefully to the sounds you hear. Let's listen to sound 1. Now, listen to sound 2. Guess and write down which sounds you heard in the action section of your journal. Now, some of us can stand up and share what we wrote. Which sounds did you hear, Sid?
Sound 1 was the gurgling of water into a drain. Sound 2 was the squeaking of a chair. Now let's all listen to the poem, The Sound Collector by Roger McGough, and follow along with the words and images on the screen. Watch out for the different sounds mentioned in the poem.
The Sound Collector by Roger McGough. A stranger called this morning, dressed all in black and grey, put every sound into a bag and carried them away. The whistling of the kettle, the turning of the lock, the purring of the kitten, the ticking of the clock, the popping of the toaster, the crunching of the flakes, when you spread the marmalade, the scraping noise it makes, the hissing of the frying pan, the ticking of the grill, the bubbling of the bathtub as it starts to fill, the drumming of the raindrops on the window pane, when you do the washing up, the gurgle of the drain, the crying of the baby, the squeaking of the chair, the swishing of the curtain, the creaking of the stair. A stranger called this morning, he didn't leave his name, left us only silence. Life will never be the same.
Which sounds were mentioned in the poem? What did you hear? Let's stand up and share with everyone. Sid, what did you hear?
I heard the whistling of the kettle, the purring of the kitten, the drumming of raindrops, the crying of a baby.
That's right, Sid. Let's all read the poem aloud together. Everyone, let's stand up and get ready to read. Remember to follow along with the words on the screen. 1, 2, 3, let's go!
The Sound Collector by Roger McGough. A stranger called this morning, dressed all in black and grey, put every sound into a bag and carried them away. The whistling of the kettle, the turning of the lock, the purring of the kitten, the ticking of the clock, The popping of the toaster, the crunching of the flakes, when you spread the marmalade, the scraping noise it makes, the hissing of the frying pan, the ticking of the grill, the bubbling of the bathtub as it starts to fill, the drumming of the raindrops on the window pane, when you do the washing up, the gurgle of the drain, the crying of the baby, the squeaking of the chair, the swishing of the curtain, the creaking of the stair. A stranger called this morning, he didn't leave his name, left us only silence. Life will never be the same.
Now, let's read the poem silently and underline the difficult words. Now, let's look for these words in the glossary after the poem. There were some words I didn't know. I'm going to write them down. Let's write down all the new words from the text in my word bank in the action section of our journals.
Time for analysis. Let's talk about what we just read. Discuss with your partner. At what time of the day does the sound collector visit? How do you know that? Now let's share with the class. Sid, what do you think?
The sound collector visits in the morning at breakfast time when people are getting ready for the day. The lines, the popping of the toaster, the crunching of the flakes, the spreading of marmalade, tell us this.
That's right, Sid. Why do you think the sound collector is dressed in black and grey? How do these colours help him? Now, stand up and share with everyone.
I think the sound collector was dressed in black and grey so that he could blend well with the surroundings. The colours black and grey helped keep attention away from himself.
Left us only silence, life will never be the same. Why will life never be the same? We will now write about the text in our own words. What is the poem about? Write in 4 or 5 sentences in your journal. Write in your journal. Your time starts now. Sid, what have you written?
The poem is about how our life is made up of countless sounds of different kinds. It gives examples of the many sounds that can be heard at breakfast time in a household. It tells us that if one day all these sounds disappeared, it would change life forever. It is not possible for normal life to go on without sounds.
Time for a quick quiz. Shade the bubble for the correct answer in your journal. Question 1. The door, when Leslie opened it, making his heart beat even louder. Which word best fits the sentence? A. Ticked. B. Squeaked. C. Splashed. D. Gurgled. Question 2. The drumming of the raindrops on the window pane. What does the word drumming mean here? A. Broken beating sound. B. Unbroken beating sound. C. Broken screeching sound. D. Unbroken popping sound.
In today's class, we read a poem about a stranger who collected all sounds. See you next time!